Consider this. You're a creator, but what kind? Are you an organizer or an originator? You'd be surprised. A lot of people just organize things and people consider them to be very creative, which, technically that is creation. And you have people who just make these original, like, oh my gosh, that came out of nowhere type of creators. So what type of creator are you? And don't you think for 1 second that you're not creative, because you are. You're a human. I'm assuming you're a human because you were created in this sense. I mean, you were born. So without looking beyond that, there you go. So there you go. But you know what? You were also organized too. Raw materials. So is there true origination, or is it always pulled from something else? What's the line between organization versus pure origination? Because creation is just all of a sudden you have something else. Something has been made from something else. And if that something else was nothing, then you are a true originator. So you're probably thinking about people in your life like, oh my gosh, they're so creative, but I never thought of them as just organizers. Yeah, well, look at personalities. Okay, let's go stereotypically through each one. I'll just rant through it from my ESFP, filter perspectives. There you go. So you tell me, right? This is just what I'm gonna say. Like, take the ENTJ for example. Notorious for being stereotypical CEOs, like originating companies. Well, you know what? They took materials and put it together. Steve Jobs, for example, right? You got this, I never thought about him being an ENTJ, but let's just take a CEO. Putting together the parts, as, Bill Gates and the PCs were already doing their own thing. Apple didn't, wasn't the first computer. So there was origination already made before this, and organizing it in a different way was his type of creation. All of a sudden you got Apple, so bada boom. Okay, so an ISFJ over here just said putting the right people in the right positions is a type of creation as well. So leaders in that sense, ESFJs are known for that. ESFJs will gather people for their group, for their cause, for their thing, and that's their leader. That's their leadership. You're good at this. You're good at this. Like you bada boom. Now we have this. That's their type of creativity as well. You can do all these other types, but these are just the ones that I've seen stereotypically for this type. ENFPs are phenomenally witty. ENFPs are so funny, and they can organize and come up with things like you wouldn't believe on the spot. ENFPs. So ENFPs naturally make fantastic stand-ups. ENTPs as well, but theirs is a little different. Then you have the big question. I know there's a freaking light in my face. I've just been playing with that. If you really think about it, a P personality is way more likely to originate than a J personality, who mostly organizes for their type of creativity. My ISFJ over here hates originating. Like, she just hates it. So she's like, why don't you come up with a concept, I'll organize it, make it funny, because she's NE aspirational, and she'll put it together, make it funny, and make it come together. So have you seen those pink shirt videos we do on YouTube, like the big ones? That's her funniness, her humor. Funniness, is that a word? And she puts it all together. She knows all the memes and stuff. Anytime I say to her, hey, did you hear about this? She's like, yeah, I already knew about that, because there's a TI child and all that. But anyway, the point is that she likes to organize the chaos because she knows what's funny. There's a J-ness to her personality. ENTPs can organize concepts that are proven. Of course, I can make a business out of that. ESFJs will gather people who have proven themselves, who cross those ESFJ barriers of, yes, you're in my life. And they create, the Henry Ford thing, gathering people. ENFJs can do that too. ENFJs are a little more well-rounded, I would think, in this regard, because I've seen them not only organize people, but art as well. But what they have organized is it's very unique, actually. So you let me know. Not every personality type is going to fit into this perfectly, because ISFPs are known for loving being outside, but they also are known for being musicians, and they occasionally sing. So they can originate. P personalities can originate way easier than a J personality can, I think, by standard stereotype. But you tell me. I'll go through just a few more before we close out, just stereotypically. INFPs can create books. INTPs within concepts of the abstract, putting it into like a concrete form of paper. You got to squeeze it out of the INFP, right? They're not likely going to finish that because they did it for themselves. No, you can't see what I made, but you know that they created something. They originated something. INTP is more likely to put that out. ESFP, like myself, we just kind of go for it. We don't really try to organize anything, because that's like the bane of my existence, is to organize. My SI and TI are not in good, strong slots for my personality. So I originate. You've seen some of the videos I made. I've originated characters. I have had need to make them in real life and to actually improv, be a vampire in public to test this out. People ended up just wanting photos of me, and I tried to bite them. A vampire is not an original thing, but I created this from an original vibe, and bada boom, we made it. So feel free to check out my vampire videos. I did a reporter, I pranked Comic-Con, and I went, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, I can prank you. And here you go, here's stick a microphone in their face to see if they break character. I stuck a microphone in their face just to see if they'll break character. I've never seen anybody else who did that, but if you really think down and look at it, there was a guy on The Fifth Element who did that kind of vibe, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is something. You don't think about it, but so origination versus there might have been something deep down, if you really think about it, where that came from, that was there first, but who came before the Fifth Element guy, So that's a fascinating thought too, because a vampire is not an original thought, but that type of vampire that I did was. So how original are we talking about? And having them all put together in a room like what I've done in various other videos, that's totally original to me. I don't know anybody else who's done that. I've seen some crazy creative people in my life. And if you really think about it, oh my gosh, they were just organizers or they were originators. And sadly enough, if you really look at it that way, it kind of dissolves this illusion of, oh my gosh, they're so creative. Wait a minute, they're really good organizers. Or are they truly organic originators? Like, wow. Because you have to be shown something, right? Let's say you love old cartoons. Cuphead, there was a game that came out of the wild called Cuphead, based upon this old vibe of cartoons. And that came from something else. And so therefore it's like, if you just showed Cuphead as it was, they'd be like, this is totally original. Well, wait a minute, this animation style, I've seen this somewhere before, right? Oh my gosh, we can go really into depth with this. Okay, let's close the video off with this, but I would love to see what you guys have seen in modern times that people think is original, but really you're like, they're kind of ripping somebody off, or it really is original. I would like, because it's like, there's tons of this controversy with this. So you tell me, origination versus organization, what is your level of creativity for you or people in your life, and then put their personality onto that and come up with these patterns, and you tell me. I thought this would be kind of fun.